everyone, I hope you're as excited as I am to kick off the IELTS Writing Task 1 question types. While we go through the next couple of lessons, we're going to try to implement the essay structure and structures we learned in the previous lessons where we can, or also learn a few more that work for specific question types, as well as how to pick out points to write about. And now we're going to start off with how to answer bar charts. So let's get right into it. The good thing about this question type is that it is quite common. Basically, bar graphs or bar charts, as they're also known as, are useful to show how something has changed over a given period of time, especially when there are significant changes. Bar graphs consist of rectangular bars, which can be oriented horizontally or vertically, with a length proportional to the data values that they represent. Again, they are typically used for comparing two or more values. Now that we have that out of the way, let's go on to learn how to answer this question type. While we do this, we're going to keep the assessment criteria in mind as well to help us. To recap, you will be marked on the following: task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resources, and grammatical range and accuracy. During the exam, it will be a little difficult to keep the criteria in mind, which is why practicing as much as you can will help you figure out how to tie your answer together. As we discussed in the previous lesson, it's best to have 4 paragraphs. And just to recap, paragraph 1 would be your introduction, paragraph 2 would be your overview, paragraph 3 will be your first main feature, and paragraph 4 your second main feature. Now, let's look at the questions we're going to answer. The chart below shows a proportion of male and female students studying 6 art-related subjects at a UK university in 2011. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Write at least 150 words. Now, every question consists of a sentence, which is the first sentence, which is a brief description of the graphic, sentence 2, which would be the instructions, and then you'll have the graphic, which is either the chart, the graph, the table, etc. Keep in mind, you do not have to write about everything. Just pick out 2 or 3 key features and you'll have plenty to write about. Let's start by analyzing the graph. We see that the graph has key, which is male, marked in blue, and female, marked in red. The x-axis shows us the subject, and the y-axis shows us the number of students. What catches my eye first is how the number of female students for each subject are higher than that of male students, except for art and design. By making these observations, it will help us pick out a few more details to write about later. Now let's go on to structuring our answer. We'll start with the introduction. First things first, we'll have to rephrase the question given to us, which is, the chart below shows the proportion of male and female students studying 6 art-related subjects at a UK university in 2011. We can change it to something like this. The bar chart illustrates the number of male to female students at a UK university in the year 2011 who were studying 6 art-related subjects. This is somewhat of a basic rephrase, but if you want to go one step further, you can rephrase it too. The statistics about 6 subjects that men and women in the United Kingdom chose in 2011 are depicted in the bar graph. Replacing the word shows to illustrates or even depicted will increase our lexical resource score. Now we'll go on to give a general overview. Here you're going to briefly describe major trends on your graph with 2 to 4 features. This will be easy because we've already analyzed the graph to find them. So for this, we could write something like, overall, it is evident that linguistics, communication and media studies and English language and literature emerged as the most sought after courses by both student genders, with the majority of them being female. It can also be seen that male students are less interested in philosophy, but more interested in art and design. We're going to move on to the detail paragraphs now. Remember that paragraphs 3 and 4 are paragraphs where you include more detailed information about the data found in the graph. These paragraphs should give evidence to support your first or second key features. Also, don't forget to make comparisons where relevant. First of all, let's look at the details that we can choose from or the overall trends. The proportion of female to male students for each subject, popular subjects amongst male students, the subject that was chosen most. The details I'm going to look at are the subject that was chosen the most and the proportion of female to male students for each subject. These are just 2 details that I've picked out. If you have found other details that you want to mention, that's completely fine. Okay, I'm going to start by writing. Among the 6 art-related subjects, English language and literature had the highest enrollment rates. This subject was chosen by more students than any other subject, and it had a majority of female students compared to an estimated 240 male students. Now that we covered the first detail body paragraph, let's move on to the second. Here, we're going to address the proportion of female to male students for each subject. It can be seen that philosophy had the highest proportion of female students, with around 50 male students compared to a majority of 150 female students. Linguistics had around 240 female students and approximately 175 male students, meaning a majority of the students were female. However, in contrast to this, history and archaeology had nearly 110 female students and around 90 male students, again indicating that the larger part of the students were female. Similarly, art and design had a majority of male students with 170 male students and 155 female students. Communication and media studies had almost equal enrollments of male and female students with about 210 male students and around 220 female students. Okay, now if we put this all together, it would look and read like this. This answer is about 204 words, which is fine as the minimum word limit is 150 words. Just be sure to stay around 170 to 210 words ideally. This is so that you don't spend so much time on task 1, because remember, you still have a 250 word essay to write for task 2 within the hour. Also, remember the importance of paragraphing as it contributes to your cohesion and coherence score. And always be on the lookout for spelling and grammar. Stay tuned for the next lesson where we'll learn how to answer line graphs. See ya!